Hi, beautiful viewers. I found something that was quite shocking. It's an old poetry notebook that I wrote in 2009, and we're in 2016 right now. So I thought I'd share a few poems that I wrote when I was younger. So this one is called Dreams. Thoughts racing through my mind, like the streamline of a single tear down a pale cheek. Wanting, waiting, wishing for that one day to come when I will be healed of my sorrows, hurting from the truth, unsure, uncomfortable, unable to trust those around me, wondering if they will play me the way he did, with a pitiful fantasy. He is in my dreams, my thoughts, my pain, questioning if our friendship will be the same, hoping for the best, crying from the past, scared, scared of what the future will bring. I think that one was linked to a guy I dated a long time ago. This one is called Sanity. I wrote this one Tuesday, January 27th, 2009 at 6:41 p.m. Don't try to get inside my mind. I lost it a long time ago. If I was my heart, I'd be dead. I suffer from past memories. I can be pretty quiet or really loud. Really nice or a complete asshole. I'm insecure and self-conscious, but I could have the biggest ego you'd ever see. I'm your best kept secret. I'm the one question that really bugs you, because you just can't find the answer to. I'm hard to understand, but easy to get along with. If I let you take a chance and talk to me, maybe you'll blow my mind, 'cause I'll make you lose yours. That was deep. When I wrote these poems, I had not realized that I was sexually abused for over 10 years. So I was definitely dating a lot to occupy myself with things to prevent myself from feeling so much pain. This one I wrote on February 3rd, 2009 at 2:59 p.m. and this was a day before my birthday. Emotionally Drained is the title of this poem. Oh wow. This one's gonna make me cry. I feel as though the flesh around my heart is being eaten away by the maggots of sorrow. I've never felt this way before. All I can do is think about him, and it hurts. It hurts that he played me the way he did. No one saw it coming, but I should have seen the signs. They were there. I just don't understand. Because when he looked up at me and smiled his happy smile, I felt in sync. And now, I just don't know or understand. Past me, you've come so far. Oops, I accidentally just tore that one out of the book. Okay. This one was on February 16th, 2009 at 3:19 p.m. Unexpressed Pain is the title of it. Hurting. Hurting from the stress of if today is going to be a good day. Hurting from the lack in her ability to show love. Her is my mom. Hurting from the greed I see them thriving in. Hurting from the sounds of joy, wanting it to be mine. Hurting from the voices that yell at me when no one's ever there. Hurting from the lost loved ones. Hurting from being different. Hurting from pain of never being accepted. Hurting from the thoughts of the past. Hurting from misunderstandings. Hurting from the rage of their unexplained feelings. Trying to change what might happen. Trying to show my love so that maybe she will give some in return. Trying to explain how I feel. Trying to tell them that being different isn't bad. Trying to accept myself for who I am. Trying to understand why it hurts so much. Trying to be strong and hold on. Trying to find love, hoping someday it will all change. So, oddly enough, I experienced a ton of trauma during my childhood with my family, and I was constantly being yelled at. And what's crazy is when I moved out into my first apartment, I would be at home by myself in dead silence with no TV on, no music playing, and I would actually hear arguments. Like my mom and James Anthony Tamer, the man that molested me, I would hear them arguing in my mind. And I couldn't get the shit out of my head because for so long it was like always going on. And so when I finally got into a quiet space, it was like the residual arguing, I could hear it even though they weren't around me. It was very scary. So this one I wrote on February 16th, 2009 at 3:37 p.m. Laugh. I laugh when I see the little girl cry. Her cup falls out of reach because she has someone there, at her side, ready. Ready to give her everything she needs. Ready to show her how to do things on her own. Ready to take her and enjoy life's magic. Ready to comfort her when she's sick. Ready to let her cry on when she's hurt. Ready to show her the way. Ready. Ready to pick up that cup and give it to her, like it's no big deal. Yeah, my mom she never was there for me, so it was really hard to see people at the park with a baby and just them caring for their baby when the little girl dropped her cup. It hurt me that my mom couldn't reciprocate that love to me, and it was very hard growing up because she would give my brothers the love that I wanted in front of me, and she would not be able to give it to me. And I kind of felt like when you grow up or when you reach a certain age, things become awkward, and that's not true. But my mom just was unable to give me love, and she could give my other brothers the love that I so desperately craved. She could give it to them and taunt me with it and then not give it to me. And that was very, very hard to go through. It was extremely devastating because it caused me to believe that something was wrong with me when nothing was wrong with me. This one's called Misunderstood and it doesn't have a date on it. But I'm assuming I wrote it after the other ones. What am I? Who am I? Where am I? Most of the time I feel lost, looking for something almost impossible to find, because I know nothing of what it is. Like searching for a ring lost in the sand on a beach years ago. Will anyone ever understand the feverish anxiety I feel, ticking away as all hope dissipates? I'm really glad I didn't kill myself. I have a diary that had suicide notes in it from when I was very, very young. And maybe I'll pull that out sometime and read it to you guys. Well, this was one that they forced me to write in school. And on this side I have, I am from the giggles of my silly brothers. I am from photos clothing our walls. I am from sleeping on Legos. I'm from stepping on Legos sprawled out on the carpet. I am from peaceful candles burning. I am from the smell of lavender. And I am from the colors of the rainbow. Then on this side, it has the pyramid of hate. At the top of the pyramid, it says war, genocide. Then it says, one layer down, it says violence. Then it says discrimination. Then it says stereotypes and prejudging. Then it says fear and ignorance. And at the very bottom it says lack of connection slash exposure and separation. Oh God, that is so deep. I just blow myself away. It's like, girly, you were picking up on all of it. If only I knew how beautiful my future would become. Back then, I wouldn't have felt the burdens of life tearing away at my heart. Sick feeling. Here's another one. Sick feeling. I have this terrible feeling. I've only felt it once before. I cannot exactly put my finger on it. I know it's a mixture of tragics in the past and him causing chaos. His pernicious tactic is lurking the lives of helpless women, luring them into his false charm, soaking up the blood of innocent souls, and harming the sweet, joyful state of mind. And that was March 19th, 2009. That was about my stepdad, James Anthony Tamer. Fuck you, James. This is a good poem. This one's about chocolate, I think. No. The chocolate one's coming up, I think. I wrote one about, yeah. Okay. This one's called Giggle. It's not about chocolate. Walking down a typical gray sidewalk, I giggle when I feel the sun's sweet warm rays beating down on me, wondering what today will be. On my own adventure to find a moment that will satisfy my craving for the irresistible desire to be irresistibly desired, knowing that sometimes a happy ending is just moving on, ready for whatever comes my way, glad that there is no standard of beauty in this world, willing to stay positive, because the journey is what brings happiness, not the destination. Oh, that was beautiful. That was on March 9th, 2009. This one's called Modest Human Dignity. I understand how she feels. I've felt it before. It can rip apart your soul and get you low, so very low, that you feel as though you will never rise again, like a sudden swell of helplessness, mentally lost in a pool of emotion, dwelling on every good and bad moment. Nothing satisfies the empty space in your heart, wanting to believe that with time you'll heal, waiting for something to take you away, something strong enough to make you forget the pain. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to write a book and publish these. This one was called What Chocolate Tastes Like. I wrote this on March 12th, 2009 at 7:37 p.m. and it says mood superior. My heart is anticipating. As I tear off the first layer of paper, my blue eyes widen as I see the beautiful, sleek silver foil gleaming in the godlike light of a 7-Eleven store. The joy of my smile brightens those getting out of their cars. As my 4 front teeth sink into heaven, my mouth is taken on a safari so good that nothing can get me down. Chewing slowly as it fills my mouth, blessing each and every taste bud on my tongue, knowing that every penny from that 99 cents was completely worth it, never regretting the 90 calories of pure bliss. As the wind blows my luscious hair, the sun's silky warm rays smothering my skin, as I strut home in flawless joy like a goddess. And at the bottom I said I should sell this to Hershey's, because I was eating a Hershey's bar. This one is called Delayed Reaction, and I wrote it on March 23rd, 2009. When I accepted the fact of friendship, I didn't think what happened would happen. I almost felt obligated. When the time came, we were at his mother's house, and it was really late. At that time, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and wasn't bothered by it. Then the lights dimmed, and the only place for me to sleep was next to him, in his fluffy bed. I did feel a flash of regret right before, but my thirst for him was overpowering. Now, I'm just curious. Curious as to what could happen, what should happen, and what will happen. He wants to hang out over spring break. I can't tell if I'm glad or disappointed. I'm back questioning my judgment, but this time I'm unsure of what he wants. Willing to mess around, unwilling to get hurt again. I remember exactly what guy that was. And yes, we hooked up and dated, and yes, it didn't work out. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, so this is something that I came to the conclusion of when I realized that I had to let go of my faith in God because of what had happened. It was too painful. And I wrote, I get emotional because my faith has been restored, and this was so hard. This was so hard for me to go through. It was one of the worst times in my life. I tell people that I don't believe in God, when really, I just refuse to worship a God that would let my brother's dad hurt me like he did. Basically, God did not put me in this life to have me get molested. We all have agency, which is the ability to make our own decisions on earth. And my stepdad, chose to do what he did. And it wasn't until I learned about agency that I was able to know that God didn't want me to go through that, and that he loves me, and that he didn't plan that, and that it was my stepdad's choice to treat me the way he did, and to molest me, and to abuse me, and to harass me. And it was just really hard having to go to church and having my stepdad scream at us in the car, and then going into the chapel and having him act like a completely different person, really nice to people. And it was a very confusing time, and it completely destroyed my faith because there was nothing for me to go off of. Church was a joke. Christ was a joke to me. Nothing made sense. It was like it just nothing was right. Oh, I think this was one of my first boyfriends. This was written on April 20th in 2009. His eyes widen as I open the door, arms around my waist as he kisses my face. Suddenly, a rush of ecstatic joy flows freely through my veins. The happiest I've felt all day. Enlightened by his velvet voice. I dread the time to come for him to leave, yet savor every second I'm with him because he's like no other. Yep, that was when I dated this guy named Brian. He was a really kind guy. It was sad though, his dad died and we didn't continue to date. This one was written on April 21st, 2009. Who hears the fish cry? They are there, sulking without a cause. Why? Asked the little girl to her mother. Who hears the fish cry? What do they seek? Squirming in her mind a thought. The seaweed slime comforts the flyaway drifting grains of sand that remain unable to find the right place upon the ocean floor. Yet they suffer in the abyss. What if fate and fortune do not take place, or are a split second late? Drastically, that could affect the outcome, or overall placement of the sand, and that is why the fish cry. Well, that was kind of an abstract one. This one is called Untargeted Radar, and it was written on April 22nd, 2009. I do not understand. I do not understand my feelings anymore. I do not understand who I am anymore. I thought it was right. I felt it was brilliance. But to my despair, I'm afraid of this feeling I'm getting. I cannot put my finger on it, but this bleak delusion is haunting me, almost like my brain is going against me. I would not like to fear the future, but slightly. I can't understand what this feeling completely means, and it's causing me to question my judgment. In a pixel of my mind, I feel it is partially assumption, and would like it to stop. How can I learn to do that? I was so connected. I mean, I am still very connected, but man, I am. It amazed. I did not read these before I made this video, so it amazes me how connected past me was, regardless of how unconnected I felt. This one was called Stuck in Math Class on April 30th, 2009. My heart's beating to the tick of the clock. Frantically, I am waiting to hear the chime that will rapidly pump the penetrating adrenaline through my veins, stored in my blood. Pounding against the smoothing marble desk, my pale bleak hands contain no intention span. Overly excited by a feigned delusion palpitating in my mind. In a glimpse, it drizzles out of thought, and I am racing out the door to quench my thirst of freedom. Okay, this was the day after this guy I dated's sister's party, and it was written on May 3rd, 2009. I'm catching on to his drift. He is a prodigious ridicule yacht, and I am yet but an ethereal swan, sulking with my past sorrows. He shows veneration, yet is chagrin, due to his obtuse abilities in understanding my extremely equivocal enigma. I wonder, perhaps, he will never be able to understand. That may lead him to be imperious, just the opposite of my delight. I did not choose the path in which the light has dwindled, yet to my advancement of rapidly avoiding the hourglass revelation, I cannot find the words to explain what is truly causing me to tremble. Only in my deepest thoughts, palpitating in the malice maturity, that is much too advanced to be explained. Or is it perhaps the opposite? I use such descriptive words. I'm gonna get back into poetry. I actually wrote a poem a few days ago on my blog, healtheworld363.weebly.com. If you'd like to check it out, feel free to. It's a beautiful, happy poem. Okay, so this one was a poem where I was starting to fall in love with this guy, Brian. It's called Ditto, and I wrote it at 10:14 p.m. on May 11th, 2009. Flourishing across my face, vividly crimson, a divine, royal smile, fetching from ear to ear. Dimples perplexed, embrace the enraptured pearls in which reside inside my virtuous mandible. That thought, the thought that signals my brain, releasing a deadly chemical invading my bloodstream, until every vein palpitating rapidly from the immense giddy sensation resides inside me. In an instant, I become lured. Then it drizzles out. Reality pulled me back. Inexpressible, a rosy flash of abashed heat mangles my ethereal state. From that thought, a mere glimpse of a past sweet delusion. I avoid contact with anyone during that 60 seconds of extraordinary leisure, almost embarrassed of the thought. If anyone knew what had flowed through my mind, amazed at my obtuse reaction in wiping that devilish smile across my face. Perhaps, you say, am I falling in love? When I was young, I tried not to smile because I felt like showing happiness was something that was unnatural and that I shouldn't do because I was so used to not smiling. So when I would think about him, or when I thought about me and this guy Brian hooking up, I would get this giddy smile, and I would wipe it off my face because I felt ashamed to be happy. This one's called Ultra Pixel, and I wrote it on May 14th, 2009. She is unknown, tiptoeing silently across the slippery, sleek slide. She is unknown, tiptoeing silently across the slippery, sleek side of an emerald-branched apple leaf. Precious and pale, her skin luminous. One flutter, her wings, a mixture of silky lavender drizzling into a vibrant turquoise. Tips fluctuating in stripes of fuchsia and neon green. Angelically innocent, her luscious long locks stride down her back, rich in a golden caramel honey. Not a pixel out of pigment. Dwelling in confusion with a weary countenance, she trembles. A mere murmur slips out of her mouth. Within a single second she has vanished. Her feverish elegance holds a deep anxiety. Unable to soar far enough to avoid the ultra curse taking over. She's a pixie. Sorry, I couldn't read that word. I really like my poetry. I can't believe I was so gifted and I stopped. I wish I would have never stopped writing poetry. This one was written on May 19th, 2009. A moment of my mind seeps out to be sought, is what it's called. There is a difference. I do not understand. Little things getting to me. Never enough time. But why? Why do I feel like I myself am the only one feeling this flustered, doting annoyance? No one else seems to be disturbed by the fraught, unassured path of what the future is. Afraid, very much so. Feelings come and go. Feeling unable to see my success is a struggle. Not so sudden, for this is just the way I feel. Yet I am not virtuous. And it actually has a picture of me with my head open and all of these words that flooded my mind. I'm just going to read them to you quite quickly. It says, "Shut up. Leave me alone. Why won't you just do it right the first time? Is anything I do ever good enough? Will I ever be independent? What really matters? Will this stop? What else should go wrong today? Or what else could go wrong today? Leave me alone. You won't understand. What if I don't want to grow up? Paranoid anxieties of life constantly racing through my mind all the time." And look at the eyes. Wait, can you see? Look at the eyes. They're like super stressed out. This one's called Ignorance. I wrote it on May 20th, 2009. In retorted passion, I disdain all those unworthy due to their lack of ability, excessively smothering over it, all with dulcet reps of false virtue. They will never come close to establishing a mere blink of the mind state in which will allow them to understand. I shall say no more, for my breath is an inconvenience for all those to my detest. Mourning for them to stagger a pathetic question, I will not embrace myself, yet bide to see it. They are ignorant. I think I remember the day I wrote that, and I think it was an intense day. This one I wrote on January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September 2nd, 2009, at 8:10 p.m. Like a gloomy bear, I sit here and sulk without a care. My insides feel empty, never hungry when I'm supposed to eat, never tired when I'm supposed to sleep, overwhelmed with emotion. I feel nothing, pondering in and out of my past realities, dreaming up what will and what if. Is there ever a pleasing outcome? Because every time I get to the center of something, it seems always to be a disappointment. Or maybe perhaps I hold my hopes too high. I'm willing for her to understand that she can't hide behind her fake moralities and pride. Well, that was about my mother. This one was June 4th, 2009. Slowly sulking. I had morals, yet now I'm obtuse due to a deepening fatigue that I cannot seem to rid, and I feel that it is causing me to partake in a zombie-like perspective, boring those who find joy in my now almost stale positive vibes. Unstable because I'm unsure of what I want, never satisfied, but why? Why? And it makes me cry. Past memories, thoughts that bid me, why? Why can't I go back to the days that were sugar-coated with liquid sunshine? Feeling so gloomy, falling faster out of my witty suburban dream, yet at the same time falling further in, depleting the fun and colors and rhymes, now developing a pain to yearn, an irresistible desire to be irresistibly desired, scared always, willing to risk on occasion, saddened by my lolling attitude and fulfilling my heart's true desires. God, I was so descriptive. Okay, I don't know what this is. Just because I haven't fallen to the floor, it doesn't mean I'm still standing strong. I wish I could see the way you do. I just don't care anymore. If I don't care, then nothing can hurt me. Look into my eyes and tell me, what do you see? Do I look happy? Do I look sad? Can you ever tell the difference? No, you can't. Well, I'm sad, but you'll never figure out why. I've been lost for so long, I no longer want to be found. The pain never stops, but I hide it so well that even you do not see. I'm rotting in my own hell. I'm addicted to the pain. That is deep. Okay, now they're getting kind of hard to read because they were written a long time ago in pencil. Oh, my foot's falling asleep. This one was written on 9/2/09. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, September. At 9:34 p.m. Salt-filled drops trickle down like ice. The tile tells my the like ice. The tile tells my skin. Okay, I'm just gonna start over. Salt-filled drops trickle down like ice. The tile tells my skin. Lonely, hidden from harsh reality and chaos of my world, yet at the same time feeling every grim, fraught thought, confused and hurting, so extremely sore. Traveling back to when I felt at home, the feeling fails to be regained, for reality's grasp is like a never-ending frostbite, slowly eating away at who I am and what I could have become. I'm just gonna read this one. I hate how my mom yells at me. That's what this poem is called. And it was on 12/13/2009. Why does her hatred flow so deeply onto me, drowning me with every word that spills out of her mouth like the venom of a serpent? What have I done? What will she do? What should I do? Will these ways ever change? Sifting through my heart for the slightest bit of hope, I find none. Kicked out. 11/24/2009 at 9:20 p.m. Maybe I'm doing this to my mom to let her realize how much she loves me and how and she know and maybe I'm doing this to my mom to let her realize how much she loves me and see how life will be like without me. So far, she can't handle it very well. I hope she learns that if she doesn't treat me like a daughter, she won't have one. You can't change what's already happened, so just don't think about it. She will never change to become what I need her to be. I accept it now and am moving on. I am ready to live my life for myself. Mood, done trying. What do you turn to when the only person in the world that can stop you from crying is exactly the one making you cry? Oh, hold on. My sun-gazing alarm is going off. Okay. I'm gonna read one more. A Slap of Depression, 9/10/2010. I want to run away. I can't take this grief anymore. I do not deserve to feel the way she makes me feel. I have done no wrong, yet cannot seem to hold back the tears I usually do. She chose to drink. I really hate this feeling. I can't go anywhere to escape. This depressing situation. Negative vibes seep in through every window. I feel so freaking alone. I feel so fucking alone and lost. Why is God putting me through this? When will peace come to stay? I have lost all hope, and it chills my body admitting it to myself. And it says Nick, my old friend, said, I'm sorry, I do not know what to say. And then I wrote, no one ever does. Future me knows exactly what to say. If anybody's feeling the way these poems are, please contact me because I will say some beautiful things to you and I will let you know how much I love you as my brother and sisters through soul connection. And then I kept like a list of descriptive words that I liked to use in the back so that if I ever couldn't think of a interesting word like adrenaline, delusion, flutter, flashing, brilliance, like I really liked the things that see, like here's an example. Beef up your sentences. She walked over and said hello. A better way to say that would be like, she calmly approached me with a sincere greeting. So I definitely was into imagery, and thank you for taking a moment of your time, damn near an hour, to visit my past poetry, and I look forward to writing new poetry to share with you all. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day.